So you really want to know what it's like to have a child with cerebral palsy? Well, I'll tell you. Cerebral palsy is a neurological disorder that affects the muscle tone and motor functions of an individual. Jeremiah has what we call spastic diplegia, which means it affects his arms and his leg. There's no cure for cerebral palsy, and even though you can do Botox shots, physical occupational therapy, unless Jesus himself does a miraculous healing, they will have it for the rest of their lives. Jeremiah cannot walk, he cannot get up, he cannot move himself or any of those kinds of things without what we call a Hoyer lift, which is the thing that we use to lift him in and out the bed and in and out the car or whatever. Jeremiah cannot sit up by himself. Wherever you prop him up, that's where he will be. He does not have muscle control or motor control at all. Everything you do for yourself every day, brush your teeth, bathe yourself, manscape, womanscape, you have to do for Jeremiah. Cut his hair, make his meals. He is totally dependent. Vacations, what's that? Break. What's a break? This is lifelong for him. He is now 24, going on 25 years old. And believe it or not, we are often left out of a lot of family things and stuff like that simply because Jeremiah's in a wheelchair and most of the things that they do is not accessible. Jeremiah does not get invited to cookouts. He doesn't get invited to amusement parks. He doesn't get invited on family vacations. Family members don't call and ask me if I need a break so that they can, come and keep him and things like that so I can get things done. I can't even go to the grocery store unless somebody is here with him because I can't push a grocery cart and a wheelchair. Jeremiah has a big family on both sides, and believe it or not, 99% of them don't even know him, never sat with him, never asked me what cerebral palsy was. They could care less. When you have a child with cerebral palsy, you're treated differently. You're automatically segregated and separated from your family because your child is different. Your child can't do what everybody else can do. So it's lonely over here. You have to build the community that you want because you don't have it. A lot of people don't understand what this life is like and what your plight is like. So you have to explain and bring awareness, which is what advocacy is for, which is what I do a lot. Jeremiah loves to sing and he can pray and he loves God and all those kinds of things. Everything he does from the chair. Now he's having uncontrollable muscle spasms that's caused by the CP, which makes it very difficult for him to sit up in his chair and all those kinds of things without going through debilitating pain. Again, there's no surgery to fix that. No matter what he does or no matter what I try to do, everything revolves around his life. If he doesn't have care, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to be able to do whatever it is that you're asking me to do or inviting me to do. We don't have an outlet. I'm still trying to find an outlet. Self-care is paramount. I don't do a great job with it because I think the biggest part of me is thinking that I have to be here with him all the time because he's my responsibility. But at the same time, nobody's volunteering to keep him either. Everybody always says to us, oh, let me know if you need anything. Let me know how I can help you. But they don't really mean that because they don't want to change diapers. He's still an adult in diapers. He is not continent at all, so he can't go potty. There are times when we're looking at TV and he will jump because a buzzer or sound came across the TV that scares him. That's part of the cerebral palsy. So just imagine you're trying to look at TV and you can't look at what you want to look at because he's afraid. Jeremiah is a very happy and healthy adult and he's a people person like his mommy. But like I said, this life is not for the weak or the faint of heart. There's a lot of things that he's not able to do. And there are a few things that he enjoys like swimming. And yes, he can swim and float with the help of the little life jacket thingy. He can't make any decisions for himself whatsoever or write or sign papers. That's where I come in at. I am his legal guardian as well as his mother. There is no respite for Jeremiah now that he's an adult. Respite is something that a lot of the kids get because they qualify for it, because they're centers for it. But as an adult, I have to hire outside people and then apply for respite through the state of Maryland. We don't qualify for respite in the state of Maryland because they say I make too much money. So that's that. A typical day with us, with Jeremiah, is him singing and saying a lot of repetitive words and phrases all day for hours on end. Like you see children with autism because he has a touch of autism too. He calls my name several times a day. Jeremiah will sing the same word or phrase all day and all night until he falls asleep. And even though you try to get him to say something else, he won't until he's ready. Imagine not knowing if your child is sick or not because he can't tell you. Imagine that you have to just look at his verbal cues or look at his body language to tell that something is wrong with him. He can only say sick or medicine. That's how he tells me he's not feeling well. Imagine having to drive 2 hours away from where you live at because there's no complex care clinics where you live at. He is a person just like anybody else. And you would think that hospitals would be able to see him, but they don't. He can go to the emergency room, but only for emergency type things, not for primary care. It's rather hard to get an adult primary care provider for somebody with complex medical conditions like Jeremiah. He can't go get his eyes checked unless he gets put to sleep because he will not cooperate. He can't go get his teeth cleaned at the dentist because he will not cooperate. They have to put him to sleep when he does that too. And that is the short version of what it's like to have a now adult with cerebral palsy who is completely dependent